We can tailor a solution just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 1002990.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
2016 Chevy Equinox. Kelley Blue Book fair purchase price $22,547. Trice priced for $21,300.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
Howdy, folks. It's me, Colonel Sanders. My KFC $20 fill-up includes a whole bucket of delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, 2 sides of mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, and 4 flaky biscuits for just $20. It'll feed 4 people. And it comes with a free bucket. And every time you use that bucket, you'll be reminded of how delicious that meal was. Now that's value. KFC, it's finger-licking good. At participating KFCs for a limited time. Prices may vary. Tax extra. Extra charge for breast piece and side item substitution may apply. Offer includes 8-piece chicken, 3 large sides, 4 biscuits.
This is Fred Foltz at the Woodall Agency in Princeton. We have served the small business owners of this area for over 100 years. Do you have trouble understanding liability or workers' comp insurance? Are your insurance premiums spiraling out of control? Whether you're a furniture store on Main Street, a plumber or electrician, or a locally owned bank or car dealer, we have a policy for you. We are the business insurance experts. Give me a call at 365-5541. You'll be glad you did.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the Law Office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement.
Are you ready to sell your home? Call Farless Realty today and let a realtor sell it for you. Ready to buy a home? Don't waste precious time. Farless Realty can help, and interest rates are still reasonably low. They'll work hard to find you a home that will fit you, your family, and your budget. Contact Farless Realty at 270-365-5058 or stop by 323 South Jefferson Street in Princeton, Kentucky. Check out all their listings on Facebook and at farlessrealty.com.
At Pennarile Home Medical, they specialize in custom manual and power wheelchairs and rehabilitation equipment. If you or a family member has a disability such as CP, MD, MS, ALS, paraplegia, or quadriplegia, they have the certified staff to provide all your equipment needs. Pennarile Home Medical, the only rehab company in Western Kentucky. For over 35 years, they've been here for you. If quality counts, choose Pennarile Home Medical. 1-800-445-8002.
It's been a trying week, but last night was a bittersweet moment for all of us. Our kids have to be commended. They came out in the face of adversity and pulled themselves together as we all did, and came out with a great victory last night. Actually, I think it's the first time we've beaten Christian County in 4 or 5 seasons. 4 or 5 years. So that's always good to actually beat an opponent that has beaten you 4 or 5 times. So. But like I said, our kids are to be commended, as well as our coaching staff. I told someone last night, I said, we have 3 guys in there coaching that have 20-plus years of experience. And, I said we're going to be able to put our heads together as a staff and get our kids in a position to be successful and win ball games. And we were able to display that last night.
I thought we were 3 or 4 times during the game, Dennis and I remarked on the radio that we did things really smart, like stay away from the football when it was bouncing on the ground on punts, so on last night. But we had situations where this week we had obviously the emotions that we had to deal with, lack of quality practice time, and we fought through all those.
Exactly, and that's a good sign, especially for young men to be able to do that. Practice time-wise this week, I think we did about an hour, maybe an hour and a half Monday. Tuesday was the visitation. We tried to go back after Tuesday's visitation. Heat index was so high we couldn't go immediately out. So we watched film, and then the big storm came through Tuesday. And by the time we looked up, it's about 6:30, 6:40, and we're thinking, well, we're not going to keep these kids here to 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So we sent them home. Wednesday was the funeral, of course, and we didn't have practice scheduled anyway. Rain. Thursday came, rain, and we decided to go out and just do a walkthrough. I mean, we actually walked. We said nobody's to run, cut, do anything but walk. So mainly it was offensive, defensive team stuff. Special teams, we just lined up and make sure we have 11 bodies on all of our special teams. Of course, we couldn't run. I didn't want them running. We didn't want them cutting. So. And for the way our couple special team plays to work out was tremendous. So not a lot of time putting in work, but the result was a win, and we're happy for that.
Absolutely. And how did you read the mood of the team during warm-ups? I know that's always a key indication, or at least it was in David's mind, as to whether they were going to be ready to play. Or
I thought we were fairly I felt good about it. We felt good about it. The drills were pretty crisp, although we didn't get to do all of our drills. You're a lot more crisp if you get to do things. But I thought we were still pretty crisp. We were catching balls. A lot of time, a good indicator is kids out there just dropping footballs. And I thought we caught balls pretty well in pregame. We hit our team stuff, and we were pretty sharp there. And it was just one of those deals we just had to rally up. And and that's what we did, despite of not being able to do much this week. So, like I said, our kids are to be commended.
And obviously, we've seen this many times before. We go out for the coin flip, and we win the coin flip and defer, as we always do.
Right.
And we were out there, WPKY, introducing a new concept this year of wireless mic down on the field, and we were able to cover that.
Oh, that's good.
Give our fans on the spot coverage, if you will. And
gotcha.
so we kicked the ball off, and Christian County on their first possession, they get one first down, and then they have to punt from their 30. They get off a nice punt, fielded by Baron Wells, and around the 34-yard line, and he gets one key block, and I think that's from Max Ashley. Max doesn't make that block. We don't have a TD on that punt return.
You're probably right on that one. It's good to come out and get your defense on the field, get a stop, 3 and out, punt it. The way they set up in the scrimmage, it was the same setup, but they moved that guy in motion kind of like we do with our guy when we slide him in motion. But Max did a good job. A lot of kids may try to run and chase that guy, but he did a good job. He's a senior. He's seen a lot of things. He just stayed where he was, and made a tremendous block. He peeled back there and picked out the one guy. And I think I did see it maybe on I don't know what telecast, but I saw the punt return. And I think he had a block and maybe one other block, so we blocked 2 people.
Well,
and
that's about that other block came 15 yards from the goal line, and I think Tate delivered that, or just
Tate
got
may
in
have chipped somebody, but I was sitting there, my wife and I was watching. I think it's WPSD, maybe Gridiron Glory or something. We were watching and said, well, there goes a Van Hoosier leading another punt returner to the end zone.
Exactly.
So if you seem like you look up all the time, here comes the 32 coming down the field leading somebody on a punt return. But
both the punt return and the kickoff return later were to our side of the field, and you could see after he Max made that block and just took that kid right out of the play.
Right.
It was wide open green.
It
just seemed like everybody stayed on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
And we had them walled off. And
that's just something we've been doing, ever since I've coached here. We try to just set that old wall up and, just try to suck people up inside there, and And it worked to perfection, I guess, last night. So
well, it was a beautiful punt return, and Barron certainly knew what to do when he found the open space.
Oh yeah,
and could take it down
he's
the
a
sideline.
shifty kid now. I'm telling you, I was in the wheel a couple of weeks ago, kind of looking and said, "This guy." I said, "Yeah, I've been telling you, man." I said, "This dude can take that ball. He knows what to do with it. He's shifty, he's agile, and quick. Barron's very quick. So
in good hands because he
great
made
hands.
three or four receptions later in the game.
Oh yeah.
But immediately we go up and Blake adds the extra point. We're up 7-0.
Right.
And what a way to start a football game.
Yeah, I don't know if you could have scripted the thing any better. That's kind of like a little movie, something going on right there. So, but yeah, a great way to start the season.
So we get off on a great note, a 66-yard punt return by Barron Wells. We kick off again. Christian County picks up a first down on their second drive. They get a pass completion to our 48-yard line. The receiver gets hit, and he fumbles the football. And I don't know whether Travion got on that one or Russ got on that one.
I don't remember without watching the film. I really don't remember. A lot of plays I don't remember until I watch the film. I don't know why that is. But, yeah, another good play for us there and be able to get that turnover.
And we take advantage of that. We drive 48 yards for a touchdown. The drive takes 10 plays. I like those 10-play drives.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like you say, we can eat up a lot of clock that way. We had to overcome one penalty. Christian County has two penalties, and probably the one that hurt them the most, I think, was a personal foul penalty against Tate when they blindsided him.
Right.
And that's still, you cannot hit anybody unprotected. That's the
right.
call
That's
on that play.
Yeah, that's a point of emphasis. KHSAA sent, or the National Federation sends it. So that is a point of emphasis, and the blind side where kids just running and you just blast them. It's a different scenario if you're blocking that kid near the actual play, but that play's way over there somewhere, and you just hit a kid. So
we may have actually had the ball tipped
time.
at the line of scrimmage and gone and
right.
on the ground before he gets hit.
Exactly.
So it was 15 yards from where the ball was actually in. But on that drive, Russ does a little bit of he ran well last night, running for 22 yards on that drive. He's had a 16-yard run to the 11-yard line, which set up our touchdown pass, which was a thing of beauty. Rush throws it. I think Christian County hits it twice.
I believe so.
Obviously, Tripp keeps his eye on the ball, and obviously, like a rebound off the backboard, he catches it, steps into the end zone.
Yeah,
we get our second touchdown and go up at this time 13-0. And with 5 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first quarter, the extra point fails on this time. We thought maybe Christian was offside on that extra point.
We thought
we didn't
both
get the
of
call.
them. We thought, I don't know.
Especially the first one to me was more offside than the second
think so
one
too.
On that right end.
And maybe to help us, and with more work, we'll just have to get Gabe Dyer. Gabe's our snapper, so we'll just have to get him to maybe not time it up to where they kind of set in on you and know when you're going to snap it. Some guys are pretty smart at doing that and getting the jump on you. But yet and still, we all believe that he was offside. I thought he was offside both times.
Well, especially the first time with me. I was didn't see the replay on that, but it looked like it was at least a half a step to a full step across the line of scrimmage. And just kind of interrupt right now. We're joined by Coach Earl here in the studio. Good morning, Earl.
Hey, Bob.
Earl's made it.
Yeah, he's here. The show goes on.
That's right.
And again, with Russ running the ball, really quick, elusive, tough nose, as we know.
Yeah.
And going to give us an extra added dimension at the quarterback position.
He is. Like you said, all the things you just said, he's a tough kid. Coming in, we're like, oh, man, how much is he going to run? And, play call wise, Will's going to give him plays to run, but it's just in his nature. He's just a football player. So he pulled that thing down, and he's a threat to run. Just not running, just be running. He's a threat to run. He's tough. He's a strong kid. So, a lot of times your quarterback take off, you kind of start cringing, with Russ, it's like, here he goes, so. He's gonna, pretty good dual threat kid. He'll get his throwing down and get timing, and he's done well with that since the middle of the summer. So, that's going to get better, and when that gets better, he's really going to be a threat back there.
Well, he has the last night 4 or 5 times where I thought he was going to be down 3 or 4 yards from where he ended up being down. So he has got that ability to push the pile or to sneak through a pile and cut through a pile.
Exactly. He's pretty savvy.
Pretty handy, as you say,
yes,
later on when the throwing and the timing and all that get down. So Christian County on their third possession of the night, they go 3 and out on their next possession. I think they were trying to figure out what they could do to work. I know later on they probably went to the 3 wideout receiver set 90% of the time.
They did, and us coming in, I thought they would run the ball more. They're so big up front and physical. I thought they would line up and run a little bit more with I think El Ray Coleman, 14. On scrimmages, we saw him running the ball really well as as catching the ball. That kid's a great athlete. But, yeah, they went to the trip set some and gave us some issues there. The deal with their receivers, they run good routes, but they do a good job of finding holes in your defense and getting open. And Abram, quarterback, did a really good job of finding those kids. And
I thought he needed to be patted on the back because he was trying to figure out where the opening was and if his receiver was going to find that opening. But time after time, he was right on. And
he was. And watching him from last year to this year, like I said, he's grown. He's gotten bigger and stronger, and he has a lot more spin on that ball. He can really spin that ball now, and I think in the future, this season, I think that kid's going to be pretty tough to handle.
Well, and then he didn't get a couple breaks where at least maybe 2-3 occasions wide open guys dropping balls, which would have hurt us, but we were fortunate to get those. Well, Christian County has to punt. The Tigers get the ball back on our 26, and we pick up 2 first downs. Big play was a 15-yard completion to De'Eric Hollowell, and De'Eric didn't quite get the game started rushing-wise like we thought he could, but he picked it up later in the first half, and especially in the second half.
Oh yeah, and that's good to be able to grind it out like that. De'Eric's, he's tough, he's strong, he's really quick and fast. He's an elusive kid, but I thought he did a good job on the inside runs last night. He had 2 hands on the football, his shoulders were low. That's what we always try to teach all of our running backs in traffic: 2 hands on the football. Cover it up, get my shoulders low, keep my eyes up. And he did a great job running 3-4 yard runs, keeping drives moving, keeping the sticks moving. And so that was very positive for our offense.
We actually moved the ball on that our second possession of the game. We have a 15-yard completion, as I mentioned, to De'Eric. Russ running 3 times for 12 yards. We have a penalty, pushes us back. And then the next play, Russ is intercepted. Christian County taking over at their 31. We felt like if we got that ball in the end zone, it maybe would have destroyed their momentum or their ability to want to compete.
Yeah, so like I said, I do. Yeah, I kind of remember that drive. Yeah, we were doing some pretty positive things on that drive, and unfortunate turnover, but we're still on the field and still playing.
Exactly, and Christian County picking up their 4th possession. They get a 35-yard pass completion. They had 4, 5, 6 plays last night where they had maybe over 20 yards. They outgained us, so we'll talk about that later. But who knows? That's you look at it's not the stat that counts.
Right, exactly.
On that. They get to our 20-yard line, and then we bow up our backs and stomp them, actually throwing them for a 1-yard loss on 4th down. So our defense was strong all night long, Wayne.
Yeah, they did a tremendous job on that side of the ball. I thought defensive line-wise, we got after the quarterback pretty good. We made some plays in the secondary, which was always nice to see. I thought Max actually played one of his better games I've seen him play. Like I said, I hadn't watched the film yet, but I thought he did a great job back there. And of course, you still have Russ and Barron back there, the 2 Warriors. Linebackers did pretty well, Tate and Holt. And then John Paredes, kid who is getting started outside linebacker this year. I thought John did well on his couple screens. He came in there, and a couple times he was just getting blocked, but he was being blocked by 2 people and occupying 2 blocks and allowed somebody else to get in there and make the play. Travion Samuel, we weren't sure inside or outside backer for him. Saw him some at inside and put him at outside in one of the scrimmages and thought, well, he's a little bit better on the outside.
When he got involved in any play, he was a force to be reckoned with, and he was determined once we got a cadre of 2 or 3 kids around the player, except maybe once or twice, the Christian County quarterback or halfback went down. But we were sure tacklers last night.
I thought we were for no more work we've had to do it. But, and I don't know, sometimes you think, well, you do practice one thing all the time. We just hit it a little bit, and, when it's time to do it, we know how to do it, and let's just go do it. And, like I said, I thought we were tackling pretty well last night.
Well, after we hold them, we pick up a quick first down. Can't move the ball, and we punt from our 33 to the Christian County 37. And pretty well, Tripp punted well last night. He had over 50 yards.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I knew it.
Pinned them back on a lot of occasions.
Oh, well, good, yeah.
Colonels take over on their 5th drive of the first half, and they actually end up scoring on this particular drive, aided by pass interference penalty against the Tigers. And I'd like to see that one. I was kind of looking down, looked up, and maybe we got there too quick or what. I'm not sure.
I mean, just watching it live, and unless it was something early in the play, but I think Max, once he come out stumbling, so we kind of thought the kid from Christian County pushed him early because Max was kind of stumbling. They may have just stumbled over his own feet, but yet and still he was able to return and get there, and what we could tell was he was looking back for the ball like the receiver.
Well, that's what when I looked up.
And then the flag came out, and then I thought it was a little lately thrown, the flag. But anyway, I thought he was there, and I thought he was able to get back there and get his head around. We'll try to teach our guys to get our head around, locate the ball. I thought he did a good job of it, but like I said, they threw the penalty anyway.
So they take over, and on this particular drive, they end up scoring on a 35-yard pass to Cam Coleman, elusive, nice catch, slipped by a couple defenders, and they take it in. I guess they're not going to go for extra points this year, kicking-wise.
He may not. I don't know, Coach Lovis. He may not, but I will say this, and to our kids at halftime, they did the swinging gate, and as soon as they lined up in it, Coach McClung's in my ear. He's like, "Oh man, we didn't even go over that." I was like, "Oh, we'll be all right." Of course, they got there too. But anyway, Ben Holt came up to me and said, "Yeah, we didn't even practice that." And I said, "Yeah, I know."
Well, and they end up making the 2-point conversion. We were talking in the booth last night. Christian County's extra point kicker is named Benito Rubio.
Yeah.
I said, well, he's got to be good with a name like that. So they get down to and score. Well, he passed up a field goal earlier, I think, and they get down and score. I said, well, I guess Benito's not very good.
Guess not. So they didn't give him a shot to get any PATs. So
at this time, we're up winning 13-8. Late in the second quarter, we get the ball back. We have to punt on 4th down, and Christian County taking over on their 6th drive of the half. They go nowhere. They do pick up a first down, but they end up turning it over, and we take it, run out the first half, and we go into the locker room up 13-8. And we're going to pause right now for some commercial messages, and we'll be back with the second half here after these messages.
Nobody does spicy chicken like Wendy's. So all hail the Queen of Spice. All hail the Queen. And the return of Wendy's Spicy Chicken Nuggets. That's right. Bring them back, bring them back. You asked, and now they're back, which means you don't have to settle for those knockoffs anymore. These are the real deal. So hurry into Wendy's now and satisfy your spicy craving with the original Spicy Nuggets. Bring them back. Get a free 6-piece and taste the spice that started it all when you mobile order through the Wendy's app. We got you.
For a limited time only. Mobile purchase required.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
If I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up.
Did someone just say, if I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up? Ma'am, what if my partner, this wild emu, and I told you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need?
I'd say sign me up for Liberty Mutual. And also, your emu is eating my tire.
Limu! No. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
WPKY. Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Beach Bend Park. Fun for the whole family.
Summer fun keeps rolling along at Beach Bend Park with rides, slides, and waves on the weekends. Beach Bend Park is now open every Saturday and Sunday through September 14th. Double your fun with 2 parks in 1. And enjoy all-day family excitement with over 30 classic amusement rides, including the famous Kentucky Rumble roller coaster. With over half a mile of thrills, daily shows, mini golf, the new Laser Fury 360, and so much more. Get soaked in Splash Lagoon Water Park with slides, wave pool, and lazy river. There's something fun for everyone. Plus, parking, tubes, and sunscreen are always free. For hours, birthday parties, and special offers, visit beachbend.com. This is your summer, your time. This is your beach.
Beach Bend Park. Fun for the whole family. Beach Bend Park.
Okay, your New Year's resolution's off track. No worries. Join Mart Patrick Hypnosis Thursday, September 12th at Holiday Inn Hotel, Hopkinsville. Weight loss seminar, 5:30. Stop smoking, 8 p.m. That's right. In only 2 hours, destroy your cravings. 100% guaranteed. Only $49.99. Registration at the door 30 minutes before.
Hush, little baby, don't.
What does your morning sound like?
The itsy bitsy spider. Rock-a-bye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
This harvest season, Penny Ryle Electric asks you to focus on safety. The risk of electrocution on farms is common this time of year due to heavy equipment coming in close contact with overhead lines. If you're inside machinery when coming in contact with a power line, travel at least 3 tractor lengths before stopping. If you can't drive or are injured, stay where you are until help arrives. If you must get out of the machinery, jump out and away, taking care to land with your feet together and touching. And then call 911. Another message from your friends at Penny Ryle Electric, the Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Herb Hayes Furniture, always the best.
The Herb Hayes pre-Labor Day sale is here. Unbelievable deals on family favorites like an Ashley queen size adjustable bed base and mattress. Regularly $1199.95, now only $699. That's right, just $699 with your choice of memory foam or hybrid. Stop in today for the savings you deserve at Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress, where you always get the best selection, the best furniture at the best price. On the Boulevard in Hopkinsville.
Always the best.
Hey guys, it's Brittany McGregor with Farmers Bank, and I want to fill you in on some things that you may not know about. Our drive-thru at our main office is open at 7:30 until 4:30, Monday through Thursday, and on Friday we're open till 6. We're always looking for ways to be more convenient for you, so if you're unable to catch us during our normal hours, don't worry. At our Highway 62 and Edible branches, you can make your deposits at the ATM and have access to your funds immediately. Stop by and see us at Farmers Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC. Deposits may not be available for immediate credit.
Enter your football mom in the YourSportsEdge.com Sports Mom of the Month contest presented by Save More Drugs, GNC Hopkinsville, and Joel's Bakery and Cafe. Enter today at YourSportsEdge.com.
And welcome back to the Saturday Morning Quarterback. Wayne, it's halftime now. We go in. What corrections did we make, or did you think we had to make?
There were a few. Coach McClung got with the defense, and Coach Will Barnes and Coach Stallings got with some of the offensive guys, and just some simple things. With our defensive line guys, just to stay in their rush lanes, try to keep that kid bottled up some. Schematically, there weren't any big changes or differences, but just more or less breaking down on tackles, running your feet, just that little stuff like that. Jamming those receivers a little bit more, those slot receivers, especially when they're in that trip set, because, you always want to try to get a pad on those guys to reroute them. You want to always try to deter the timing of the quarterback and the receiver. So, nothing real major. Coach Stallings, like Coach Will Barnes, got on the board, and they were talking about some stuff. What they would do with their 2 high safeties, they would rush a guy and send a safety, and it was kind of, messing some things up for us, and they kind of figured that out, and, Coach Stallings did a great job up top of seeing that, and that we were able to just kind of, alert them to an edge blitzer and a safety coming over, or if the safety was coming down or whatever. So,
well, we again, by having won the toss and deferred, we take the ball to start the third quarter. Really, we don't get a lot done on that first drive, and Tripp gets off his 54-yard punt. In fact, I don't know whether Christian County been practicing punt. They didn't rush the quarterback or the punter much at all last night.
True.
Maybe he had to get one off pretty quickly, but
Right.
he held that one. That was down in their territory where he wanted a pooch punt.
Exactly, and our punt team I thought did pretty well. It didn't seem like there were too many run-throughs, so you always want to prevent run-throughs. I think, like I said, there was a one that he had kind of rushed somewhat, but we still do that rugby-style punt. And told Tripp other day, said, he was kind of getting it and just punting it out. I said, get it and just run out there. I said, they may not even notice you're running. And sometimes you may just take off and run it. But he did a good job. The thing with Tripp is he has good hands, He caught the ball, that's the first thing. They had to catch that
Great
thing.
snap to start with.
Yes. Gabe Dyer, I thought, did an excellent job last night. He'd been snapping some. Like, Gabe can snap. I said, well, I guess Gabe's going to snap then, So let's do it.
And we noticed on offense, and this I know as a quarterback, Dalton Haney, every snap was in Russ's chest, right on the numbers.
Dalton's done an excellent job. For a quarterback, if it's there every time,
not have
that's
to worry
great.
about jumping, or
Right,
lunging to one
right.
side, and all of that.
Exactly.
And so we punt. Christian County can't move. They punt back to us. We pick up a quick first down. Again, strong running by Derek, as we mentioned earlier. And so we have to punt again, and then here's where the fun starts.
Yeah.
And this was the punt that we thought maybe was downed inside the 1 yard line. Turns out not to be. So the official spotted at the 20. And
Right.
Rachel, if you're listening, this is for you. You always love these moments of the football game where the officials really had no clue what was going on, and how the guy could get down the sideline and mark it in the end zone is always a mystery to me.
Yeah, and like I don't know the way that our kids reacted, and Max actually got the ball on the high bounce and got it exactly what we teach them to do. Get you back to the goal line and get the ball down it. Way our kids reacted, we thought we had them pinned down as well. Max said I wasn't in the end zone. He said, and the ball wasn't in the end zone, but a few seconds later, as you said, it's a touchback. So.
Well, that he's not in the end zone. His foot may have been on the white stripe, but how can that be picked up 5-6 yards away? And we mentioned earlier the stripes last night weren't very white because of earlier in the week striping.
We painted Wednesday night. It looked really good Wednesday night from up top. I went up top, turned the lights off, and looked down. It looked really good. But all the rain, it just and that's water-based paint. It's not the old aerosol anymore, so it's water-based, and it did thin the lines out some. But that particular play, kids work so hard to make that play, and I don't know exactly the position of where that side referee was, just looking at it live. But a few seconds later, it's on the 20, and Christian County's out of the hole.
Well, I've been on the baseball field. Your eyes can only look one way.
Exactly.
It's either looking at the ball or at the foot. And I don't know how many people run down the field looking at the foot.
Feet, yeah, I know. Who looks at people's
feet? We'll back off of that right now.
All right.
So they move it back to the 20, set up the play, and on first down, errant snap, or he fumbled it or something. I didn't see it clearly. What happened?
I think bad snap. A bad snap, I do believe, bobbled or something. Quarterback turns to get on it, and it does squirt out, and I believe it was Devin Kilgore. I do believe picked it up, and should have been a touchdown. A few seconds later, it's a little talking, and the head official came over and told me, first of all, I messed up. Which is to be commended, I think. A lot of time those guys,
don't admit to anything.
Exactly. So I thought that was big on his part, and he was apologetic and says in inverted whistle, and what do you say to a guy that stands right in front of you and admit he messed up and it was his fault? So
and just whatever happened is they just nullified that play at all. So
and I think the next statement was, well, they have the option of going back to 1st and 10 or getting it at 2nd and 25, and anybody in their right mind I think was going to say, oh, yeah, I want 1st and 10 again. I think I'm almost positive that's what he said to us.
Well, that's you penalize the team that made the mistake.
Exactly.
So if they just say that it was blown dead, should have been at the 3-yard line.
Right. I agree. It would have been nice.
Football. I'm not as up on football theory as I'm on baseball rules.
Right. I guess I need to get more up to date on
it. So we didn't make the mistake. They were the ones that fumbled. But anyway, we're over that right now. So
exactly.
And from that point on to probably midway in the fourth quarter, it just almost 3 and outs.
It was like a tennis match, just back and forth. But that's was kind of to be expected. You kind of have a lull in the game every now and again, and both teams were kind of in a lull. The cramps kind of played a part on both sides.
I do want to mention Wayne on where they took over at the 20 again. They marched it upfield and had a nice drive going, and they threw a pass, and Max Ashley just out wrestled the Christian County defender for that ball. Big, huge turning point in the game, certainly on that drive.
That really was. He did a great job of going up, in a good position, and like I say, he got on the ground. That's my football. That's the attitude. We teach these kids. If it goes in the air, it's ours. So he did a great job, and big turnover right there.
And so we're in deep now in the second half on Christian County's 5th drive. They begin a 7-play drive that ends in a touchdown on a 2-yard run with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. And that run was by L. Ray Colvin, who ran hard all night long. I didn't call Nicky Bustle's name as much as I thought I would.
I know
but he was he was active.
He was. Bustle gave us problems last year, big time. We definitely need to know where he was at. And I think he got a little banged up. I think early on he was limping quite a bit. And of course that mess slowed him down or whatever. But yeah, that kid's pretty tough too.
So they end up going in the end zone, and as we mentioned during the break here, that they run their extra points with the swinging gate.
Exactly.
And converted on the first one, but on this one, the quarterback overthrew the wide receiver out of the end zone, and so they failed to make it. But they're leading right now, 14-13, and coming up, the Colonel's kickoff and the play of the game, as you well know, and and we were looking at the film before we went on show this morning. Actually, Barron picks that ball up about the 7-yard line, bouncing around and heads upfield, cuts through people, and what a tremendous open field run. Sets his blocks up really well. We're in the right positions most of the time on where we want to be. Cuts back to the center, then cuts back to the near sideline, and takes it all the way. What more? How can you end? What a storybook finish!
Right, and the great timely play. We couldn't ask for a bigger play at that point in time in the ball game. But the positive thing about it is when the kickoff return team were getting together, they were positive. We're gonna score. Let's go. Kids on the sidelines were energetic. So right there, they didn't show any quit, which is. It's a great deal right there to be able to have such emotional game go on and get scored on late like that, and then bounce back with a super return. And there again, I'm sure if you watched the film closely, it probably weren't but 3 blocks made maybe, and testament to
not crushing blocks,
not at all.
But there were some shadow,
and a lot of times you can just get between the
get
between the defender and the ball carrier. That's a great block.
Yes,
you don't have to knock them down at all. But testament to Barron, like we talked about earlier. That kid is elusive. He was patient. He was patient
and
coming
that's
up
what
through
you
there.
saw in this run. It was about
he didn't just blow up in there and fly. Yes, he was very patient. He let things develop. He toward the end there we watched it. He slowed down to let 2 of our guys get in front of him, and really smart run right there, and what a great time to have a big play.
And then we're all with our hats in our throat when that flag goes
Oh,
down.
goodness,
and
yeah.
looking back,
Yeah.
as I was toward the back of the play, which is where that flag came from, what's going on back there? Everybody's downfield. And as it turns out, it was a Christian County kid running out of bounds.
Exactly.
And then returning to the play, field of play, and that's illegal.
It is, and same here, Mr. Hayes. I was watching the play go, and then you see the flag over your head, and I flash my eyes back, and I just see nobody doing anything. But and yet and still, we noticed that kid coming by us. We were in our box, and he was almost in our box where we had to stand. And Justin Perkins, one of our assistant coaches who's been with us for several years, he comes and he charts all the offensive stuff for Coach Will Barnes. And he said that kid got so close to him, he had his clipboard. He said he had to get his clipboard out of the way. So the kid was definitely out, and he came back in, and he came in, and he was one of the first ones to touch Barron. He touched it, and he got an arm out there just a little, and of course there's come the flag, and that's amazing that play was called, that penalty was called, and
So
it
maybe
worked
I need
out
to
like that.
apologize
So
to the officials.
I'm telling you what, it amazed me that after they sorted it out, that's what the penalty was. I didn't think I'd ever, that would ever happen. I really didn't. But the side guy on that sideline, he did his job, and he noticed that kid going out and coming back in the field to play.
Well, and after it was all sorted out and the official raises his hands indicating a touchdown, our stands explode.
It did, and it erupted.
Our bench as well.
Yeah, bench erupted, our fans. It got pretty loud there. A lot of times I can hear, but I can't hear people, stuff. And, man, I was like, whoa, that's a pretty big roar right there. And then just want to commend our crowd and our community for coming out and supporting these young men. Glad the weather worked out. It was a really cool night. Some people said, man, I got a little chilly out there. I said, it felt great to me. It wasn't 95 and heat beating down on us. And
so we score, go up, miss the extra point, try to get the 2-point conversion. It broke down quickly on the 2-point conversion. So we kick off, and the one thing you don't want to do is have your kickoff guy having to make tackles. So we didn't get that done last night, fortunately, but we did get him down. They start there, hopefully to seize the lead again at their 38. They throw an incomplete. They throw an incomplete pass, then they try to go long on us for 2 plays.
They did. They try to knock the top out of it, as we say. But they try to stretch the field on us. And
then fourth down comes up, and they're thinking, well, we can hit this side receiver, and he maybe can weave his way and pick up. They lost. Oh, first down, they lose 9 yards.
Yeah, we knocked them back. Yeah.
Yes, great defensive rush on that particular play. So fourth down, they do complete the pass, but they only pick up 6-7 yards and turn it over. Exactly. Then we go into our victory formation, which we probably don't need to practice much, do we, Wayne? It looked good from where I was sitting last night.
The best formation in football, the victory formation right there.
Exactly.
You seal the deal. And I think Max Kramer ended up making the tackle on that last play. I think it was Max Kramer, I believe, playing from the strong safety position there. We scooted our kids back a little bit. Because it was 4th and 20. I don't know what.
4th and 29.
20 plus.
4th and 19.
Okay.
4th and
near
19.
20 yards. So yeah, we scoot them back a little bit and just try to keep everything in front of you and get the guy on the ground. And I think Max was one that rallied up and got him first. I think maybe just by himself. So good play there in the game.
We end the game with a stirring victory. It seems like the stands pour out on the field. Everybody in the stands. And I want to go over a little stats right now because this is I mentioned earlier that we were completely outgained almost 2-1. We had 106 yards rushing last night. De'Eric 13 carries for 51 yards. Logan Smiley 3 carries 4 yards. Russ Bashir 19 carries for 48 yards. Travion 1 carry for 3 yards, and that was a big first down he picked up on that carry. Passing, Russ was 10 of 17 with 2 interceptions. Tate 1 reception, 1 yard. Barron 3 for 16. Tripp had 3 for 18, an 11-yard touchdown in that mix. De'Eric 3 catches for 26, 10 catches for 61 yards. We only turned it over twice last night. Christian County turns it over 3 times on 2 fumbles and a pass interception by Max Ashley. These tackles, really across the board. Well, Travion with 8, Elijah Shaheen with 8, Ben Holt with 8, Tate with 7, Devin Kilgore 6, Max Kramer 5, Drew Davis 4, Russ Bashir 4, Barron Wells 2, Brady Holman 1, Max Ashley 1, Jack Stevens 1, John Paredes 1. We had tackles for losses, 2 by Travion, 2 by Elijah Shaheen, 1 by Ben Holt, 3 by Devin Kilgore, and 1 by John Paredes. And sacks, 1.5 for Travion, 1.5 for Elijah, 1 for Ben, 2.5 for Devin Kilgore, and half a sack for John Paredes. 7 sacks in the game. Again, the only interception was Max Ashley, really taking the ball away from the Christian County receiver. I looked at that like it was joint catch, and he grabbed it.
I think he just took control of it. So, and you know, that situation, I'm glad he was heads up enough to take it over down there, because you get the scrapping down there, and that referee runs in there and whatever he sees, or you know, so it's that's a great job of Max there.
And also, with us running late, we're going to end this thing here shortly. But our opponent this coming week is Owensboro Apollo, and they end up winning last night in a basketball score over Warren Central, 66-56. Total offense, as we pointed out earlier, was about 322 yards for Christian County, 167. But it's the final score on the board that means anything. Apollo will be our next opponent next week. Injury report, Wayne, we come out.
I think we're pretty good. Just probably little nicks and bruises. Your normal game wear and tear. I'd say. I don't think we had anything major. Mike Long, our athletic director, our athletic trainer, does a great job with those kids, and he didn't have anything to tell us as far as reporting any injuries that we need to be concerned with.
And for our final thoughts of this segment before we end the show, we have a junior pro games today in Sturgis. The JV will play their first football game Monday night here at Tiger Stadium.
6 o'clock against Madisonville.
6 o'clock against Madisonville. And any final thoughts before we end the show?
I just want to say to the community and all of those in support of our school, our program, support of the Barnes family, the coaching staff, we've all been dealt a pretty big blow, but it's this community and the people here who support us all the time, up, down, win, loss, and I just want to praise the folks in this town and the folks outside of this town, as you know, especially the football coaches who've contacted all of us, and you know, some of the guys were at the funeral the other day, and it's just you know, football's football but you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're all people. We all depend on each other, need each other, and support each other, and that was displayed this week from numerous outlets all over the state, as you can see, from the back end of the state to the top of the state and all over. So just a remarkable man that we lost in Coach David Barnes, and you know, with the outpouring of support, you just knew he touched so many people, and it was very impactful. He's very impactful in our school building. He was the head football coach, but he was a great mentor to kids. He loved those kids. Those kids loved him. A lot of them loved getting his chewing gum. He had packs of chewing gum. They just go to Coach Barnes for chewing gum, just random kids, and he'd hand it right to them.
Well, David was a blessing to this community, and certainly we will miss him. And always remarked to me about, and we saw this last night, how close knit our community is. Certainly during the week of the funeral and the visitation and all that. And I'd be remiss if last night we were kicking off this year with plays of the game, power linemen. Of course, the play of the game last night was the 93-yard kickoff return by Barron Wells. That's sponsored by Joyner Hardware, the power lineman. And I think this young man's going to get a plaque, as well as other linemen who win this award. Elijah Shaheen was our power lineman of the game last night. Our big block was Max Ashley on Barron's punt return. The quick cut, sponsored by Big Boys Barbershop, was by Barron Wells on his long kickoff return. And the catch of the game was Trip Branch's 11-yard TD reception. And that's going to wind it up. Thanks for being here, Wayne. Join our team next Friday night for the pregame festivities beginning at 5:30. As always, if you can't be at Tiger Stadium, you can always listen to Dennis Stevens, Todd Griffin, Gary Goodacre, Chris George, and pinch hitting for Chris last night was Tyler Brashear, and me for the broadcast. For Coach Wayne McGowan, Coach Earl here in the studio with us, our technician John Miller here. This is Bob Hayes, and all of us wish you a most pleasant Saturday.
You know your heartbeat matches the beat of the music, right? So whatever you do, please do not turn off your radio.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580 103.